Welcome to the real world. This is your host Almas, Haider Naqvi. We are here at the International Conference on Conflict and Cooperation in South Asia, the role of major powers. To discuss Chinese role in South Asia, today we have with us Dr. Zongyi. Thank you very much, Professor Liu, for joining us today.
Thank you.
First of all, let's start our discussion with the question that what Chinese interest lies in South Asian region?
Because China and South Asian countries are neighbors, so we have very close relations, including political, economic, and cultural relations with South Asian countries, and especially with Pakistan. Because for Chinese, Pakistan is an iron brother of China, and Pakistan provided a lot of help in the past years. Especially the normal relations between the United States and China was supported by Pakistan in 1970s. So I think every Chinese remember that, and think Pakistan is the best friend for China. And recently we have a lot of cooperation, especially the BRI cooperation with Pakistan and other South Asian countries. Chinese companies invest a lot in South Asian countries, including Pakistan, especially on CPEC. And in the past several years, past 5 years, after the initiation of the CPEC and other BRI projects, we have got a lot of achievements. But also, there are a lot of challenges appeared in recent 3 years, maybe. And maybe the largest one is geopolitical competition in this region. As you know, the geopolitical situation in this region is very complicated. From my own observation, maybe there are 3 levels of geopolitical competition. The first level is a global one. It involves the United States. They would like to maintain the hegemonic status.
Global hegemonic status.
Yeah, global hegemonic status. And they put forward the Indo-Pacific strategy. Before they have rebalanced to Asia-Pacific, and now pivot to Asia-Pacific. Now they have Indo-Pacific strategy. And they have special existence in Afghanistan. Because from from the series of geopolitics, Afghanistan is a part of the pivot area. So they would like to keep a very special existence in this area. But their existence in this area formed a threat to Russia, to China, and other South Asian countries, So there's some contradiction. There's some contradiction between United States foreign policy and Russia, China's foreign policy toward this region. Because China have One Belt, One Road. It's mainly economic cooperation. Okay, sure. And Russia have its Euro-Asia policies. So there's some contradiction between China and Russia's foreign policy with United States hegemonic policies. And the second level is with almost simultaneous rising of China and Russia, China and India. There are some contradictions between these two countries. Between China and India, there are border issues, historic issues, but also with increased economic cooperation between China and other South Asian countries. India is concerned about China's cooperation with those countries. They think China would like to surround India and press India. So there's some geopolitical competition. And the third level is political competition between India and Pakistan. It involves Afghanistan issue because in 2013, India and Afghanistan formed a strategic partnership, and Pakistan in the middle. So the situation is not so good for Pakistan. So you can find the geopolitical situation in this region is very complicated.
Yeah. Yes, the situation is very much complicated. There is another equation, Indo-US Nexus.
Yeah.
How you see this nexus apparently is to contain Chinese rise. And what is the Chinese counter strategy to ensure its sustainable rise?
Okay. Yeah, in recent years, the United States put forward the Indo-Pacific strategy. Actually, this term appeared in 2007 around. At that time, it's India, Australia, and the Japanese initiated such a term. But at that time, it's not a strategy. It's not a strategy. It's just in the past 2 years, United States, Japan, and Australia, they formed such a strategy. Actually, Japan and Australia already have such a strategy, and India, they have such a strategy. Although sometimes their strategy is not called Indo-Pacific. For example, India's strategy is called Act East or Look West strategy. Yeah, but and also some Southeast Asian countries also have such a strategy. And for example, Indonesia, they have such a strategy, but it's not called this name also. China have no such a strategy. We have no geopolitical strategy. We just have the Belt and Road Initiative. It's a geoeconomic cooperative initiative. And but you can find the main area of the Belt and Road Initiative is also at this region, is also across this region. So in the so-called Indo-Pacific region, you can find there are two trends. One is a geopolitical competition, maybe, or that will lead to a geopolitical conflict or even wars, maybe in the future. Because now you can find the United States, India, Australia, and Japan. They are trying best to build a Quad. The Quad is a core pillar for a United States Indo-Pacific strategy. It's a military group. It's a military group. So if they build such a military group, maybe that will lead to
military means, especially.
Yeah. But for China, another trend is geo-economic cooperation, and it's represented by China's Belt and Road Initiative. We would like to enhance our geo-economic cooperation with the countries in this region. And geo-economic cooperation and economic competition, even economic competition, it just leads to prosperity and more stability for this region. So we hope we can further our economic cooperation with the countries and avoid geopolitical competition.
Professor Liu, with the CPAC expansion of BRI, don't you think that the Indian Ocean region needs stability factor? Only Chinese strong army and a strong presence and the Pakistan Navy can do it. But to what extent?
Yeah, yes, I agree with you that this region needs stability factors, but maybe it's not the close cooperation between China and Pakistan only. Because for this region, I think this region is a lack of a security structure, a regional security structure. Because before there just some bilateral or multilateral allies between United States and the regional countries. Now you can find the United States enhanced its military defense cooperation with India. But their cooperation is exclusive one. For example, Quad is absolutely exclusive. They don't allow other countries to participate now. So we just would like to build some inclusive and open and democratic regional security architecture with the regional countries. It will include the cooperation between China and Pakistan, also including other countries, other island countries, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and maybe other powers beyond the region. For example, South Korea, Japan, and the Western countries, including United States. We cannot exclude the United States in the region, and we should. And I think China should also enhance its cooperation with India, because India is a big country in this region, and its attitudes will influence other countries' attitudes in their cooperation with China. So, but how to enhance this cooperation? It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
Professor Liu, let's come on a couple of international issues, especially the coming multipolarity. Don't you think that dollar hegemony is one of the biggest hurdle for multipolarity? What currency model would China suggest for the coming multipolarity?
Yeah, as we know, in the past decades, United States enjoyed a very special status in the international monetary system. Its US dollars have a very special status in this system, and they get a lot from other countries, from all over the world. They just use some US dollar. It's just a paper, and they get resources, get benefit from other countries. Now the problem is that more and more countries would like to use other currencies to do their exchanges. For example, many countries in this region, they would like to use RMB or use Euro or Japanese yen to do some businesses. I think this is a general trend in the future. And if the United States, now the problem is that how to put forward the reform of the current international financial system. For China and other emerging economies, we would like to gradual international financial reform. A gradual is not a sudden one, because we need the stability of this system. But we would like to get more and more ratio in this system.
Thank you very much, Professor Liu, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is all from the real world. Keep watching DBTV. Take care.